this is my thought, right? This is my thought. And I know I've talked about this on your stream in particular, Reaper. What if, okay, so when you hold on. Maybe I should probably visualize this because this is it's kind of weird to explain. So let me bring up a window here. All right, so I want to visualize this. So my idea for nurse, and you guys can tell me like, oh, that sucks or that's good based on whatever. Okay. So my idea, so let's go ahead and draw like a little like tile here. So let's draw like a jungle gym, like a normal jungle gym. Yeah, because then there's the locker in that corner, and then there's the window. I'm gonna mark the window by a double red line. I'm gonna mark the pallet by like a yellow block. So you guys know what's happening. Okay, so we got Mr. Dweet, we got Nurse. So right now, let's say we're in this situation. Like, we're in chase right now. Dwight has a little bit of a lead on us, and he's going to the window, right? So what Nurse does here is Dwight can either fake the window, to which she can just probably blink back, because she has 2 blinks. So what Nurse will do in this situation is if Dwight's going to this window, and even she blinks wrong the first time, and he doesn't vault the window, she just blinks back and gets the hit, right? If Dwight vaults it, she just blinks the first time, hits him. Even if she guesses wrong and blinks like here to cover both options, she can just blink again and hit him. So basically, unless you're bad, this is a win-win situation, no matter what. And it's the same thing if he had gone to the pallet, right? Like, you just blink somewhere safe, like here, and even if he drops the pallet, you just go to the other side, whack him. If he drops it here, you just use your second blink to go around, whack him. It's a win-win, and it's what fundamentally makes Nurse like shitty, because like the resources are the only things you can do to stop killers in this game. You can't fist fight people. Even Pebble doesn't do damage. You can't throw rocks at them. So like the fundamental problem is that like normal resources don't matter. So it's just down to mind games, which good nurses are just good with their second blink, so they still win the mind games. Side the window in case he doubles back. Very true. Very true. Very, very, very true as well. Very, very true as well. So this is my idea to how you solve this, because the main issue is not Nurse's mobility, but the fact that you can't use resources. You can't use resources. What I would do is while she's readying her blink, hold on, these needs to be another layer. While you're readying the blink, trying to do a good illustration, you get the little entity blockers around objects. You know how when you're playing Dredge and you want to go to a locker that's by somebody on hook, right? But it literally does not let you. Literally, the little entity blockers, little white ones, show up and block the lockers so you can't camp from across the map. They do that because they know that would be incredibly unfair. So the white entity blockers come up and block them, right? And that's good. And that's good for the game health because it blocks something that has 0 counterplay. I feel like Nurse should have to deal with this just like everybody else. So if she's running a blink, she can't go through this. So if Dwight vaults this, she has to hold her blink and go either here or here. And based on Dwight looking back, let's go ahead and use the green arrows. That way we can visualize what's going on instead of just going, hey, she goes here and there. Use your visualization, friend. So she is not able to blink right through. That is not an option. She cannot do that anymore. She has to blink here or here. Now what Dwight has to do right now is look at where she's holding her hand, because if he's looking at her, he can see where she's trying to put herself. So if he thinks that she's blinking here, he can run this way, and then she has to figure out where he's going from that point on. And if she blinks here, he can go here and then double back, and she blinks over here, and it doesn't matter. Basically forcing her, just like other characters like Huntress, to kind of try to hide where she's blinking and create a whole new mind game by having to play the window. She doesn't play it in a traditional manner of like having to like go through it or moonwalk it, but still she has to play some sort of mind game at this window. That way the Dwight has a chance to trip up the nurse and win this encounter, because she can't go through that. Heck, if you want to make it even better, don't just entity block the window itself, but make it really long, like the area around it as well. Like kind of give it a range. That way she can't just like blink to the corner and be safe. So if you gave it even a wider range like this, she couldn't just blink to the corner and call it a day. Because if she decides to blink to the corner here and Dwight looks through the window and sees that, he's all the way over here. And she can't just blink across because something's blocking her, right? So if she guesses wrong, she's punished there because she can't go through this white zone while she's blinking. So if he mind games her correctly, she can't do anything about it, because that's what makes Nurse suck. Is if you mind game her correctly, she can correct herself no matter what. And you can't use the environment at all to trick her to do any of that. Let's say the opposite happens. Let's say the opposite happens, where like she's gonna blink here. It's like the same thing, right? Because if she blinks here and you read that he's gonna blink there, and you read that she's gonna blink there, I love you can put Dwight back on top. You think I would know after using Photoshop for so long. Let's say if she tries to blink here, it's like the same scenario, right? If she tries to blink there and Dwight looks at her, sees it coming, and moves this way, she can't go through here. She's cucked. She can't do anything about this. So like that would make it actually, you have resources to against Nurse. You have to break line of sight. You have to use the entity blockers on the windows or pallets to actually mind game. Let's say if we're trying to play this pallet up here. Let me really explore this idea. So let's say Nurse is coming from like here, like she's just made it in here. Question, what's up? They should punish Nurse just as hard if they punish Billy? Yo, true. How many times can they use the blockers? No, the blockers aren't for the resource. It's for Nurse. It's like with Dredge. You know how Dredge physically can't teleport to lockers by hooked survivors because they're blocked? It's like that. It's for Nurse. It's not for them. It's for Nurse. Yeah. So let's say he throws this pallet and he's gonna vault one way or another. She can't do anything about that either, because like if he throws the pallet and she can't teleport over it, she can't just teleport to one side or the other and get a free hit. What she has to do instead is make a calculated decision to either teleport here and hope she can get it before he vaults back, or if she tries to teleport like for say like here, and once again, like I said, if he's paying attention, he's looking behind him, and after he vaults he sees her going this way, he can just go that way. And once again, we have the same issue. She can't just immediately correct her blink and just go right across. But if he overcommits and he's not paying attention and she reads that, she can. Like if he overcommits and he's not paying attention, she can just autocorrect and go back there. So it's not even a net loss for her either, because if you're playing somebody who doesn't know how to play correctly and he doesn't like stay here and play safe, she can just blink here and hit her, or hit him anyway. But that's his fault. He played badly, right? He played badly, and that's why. It's a good idea, but I don't think the devs are smart enough. Well, like that's what gave me hope, because that's like the Dredge idea. The Dredge idea is what gave me hope, because like I thought that was so smart when they did that, where they made it to where Dredge's lockers get entity blocked with the white entity blockers whenever there's somebody on hook nearby. I thought that was smart, because that was a good way to prevent a thing that would have made him really oppressive and have no counterplay. So if they apply that to resources while Nurse is blinking, it also takes away something that typically has no counterplay. It seems like really fun, and it still has cool mind games that are not going to exist that people have to learn. Like it's a whole new side of the game you got to get into, right? The Nurse has got to relearn and do other cool techs and plays. Like think about it. Like imagine like a Nurse, right? Let's imagine Nurse Like, they can do weird stuff. Like, he's gonna, like, camp the pallet and throw it. She could, like, blink, like, all the way out here. And then, like, maybe do something weird if he, like, if he decide. Oh, I drew it on the Droid Slayer. I'm so sad. Yeah, he can blink. They can try blinking, like, way out here. Just for, like, info to see where he went. And if he, like, goes this way, they can, like, blink this way if he tries to, like, leave the tile, you know? Like, this opens up a lot of plays, which is what I enjoy about it, because it opens up a bunch of mind games that just, like, don't exist in the game right now. And, like, the big thing is, like, Dwight's doing stuff, right? Like, Dwight's doing things, right? Thought they were going to get rid of double range. They're getting rid of the extra movement, but not the add-ons. And you know what's funny? That's not even in the change notes. Like, somebody found that during the PTB. Like, they didn't say that they were doing it. They just kind of found it, which is funny. But yeah, this, like, Dwight's actually doing stuff here, and that's what makes it good. Is that Dwight's actually trying to play with the nurse and not just at the mercy of whatever the nurse does. Go Dwight! Yeah. So I think that would be like what I would do to, like, try and fix nurse, because like, the problem with nurse, there's no problem with her going through walls. The problem with her going through walls is that she ignores resources, right? She ignores resources. That's the problem. If she didn't ignore resources, nobody would care. If you could still use windows, if you could still use pallets, it's like like any other killer, right? Like, if you get stuck in a certain area and it's a dead zone, it's bad against every killer, not just nurse, right? If there's an area without a pallet, without a window, that's bad against everybody. Like, there's going to be no difference between being in a dead zone against, like, nurse as opposed to, like, huntress, which is a more balanced killer. Dwight's not in the locker. There's usually a locker like right here. I didn't draw it though. There is usually, you're right, there's usually a locker like right here. There we go. There you go. But yeah, I think that would be really good, because it would allow the survivor to make plays against the nurse, allow you to still use the resources, but still allows nurse to do mind games, still blink through things to get hits, but makes it to where she has to play the resources that survivors have at their disposal. And a lot of people probably worry, and they'll be like, well, that makes nurse really, like, not as strong, and that's going to make her really doo-doo to play. And I'm like, she only has about as much advantage as, like I was mentioning earlier, like Huntress or Nemesis or, like, Pinhead. You know, like, there's tons of anti-chase killers in the game, and she'll still be able to do a lot of anti-chase. Like we were saying earlier, if she blinks past the pallet on this side, Dwight's not paying attention and just starts, you know, kind of autopiloting this way, she can still blink this way and hit him. She can blink that, like, back to this side if she gets a hard read and hit him, right? Or even better, Dwight drops this, thinks she's gonna do that, and then he tries to vault and gets hit, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff you can still do that's, like, very strong anti-chase stuff, right? You are still a very strong anti-chase killer, even with this, right? It is technically a nerf, but like, there's still a lot of anti-chase that you have at your disposal, and you're still doing it better than most killers do, but it's just now more fair, and that's what matters. So yeah, it's my soapbox. That's what I would do to change nurse. That's what I would do to change nurse. I've tried to phrase it in, like, text ways before in a lot of different people's chats, but now I have this nice little thing that I can just, like, clip and put it here and be like, hey, how would I fix nurse? Dust off. Look at this clip. Look, I explain it here. You know? So yeah. Hopefully I feel like that would be a good way to mend the character. Oh, the video's not even done yet. I completely forgot the video's not even done yet. Oh, hello. Yeah, that video's not even done yet. Hi, YouTube. We can put it on YouTube too.